we were going to pick this whole
So
thing
they're
up,
leaving from.
and we should not get illusions. So give us just a couple minutes to change our note cards out and figure out what we're going to do. Introduce some people, talk about our amazing sponsors. We could not do any of this without our sponsors. Y'all's event here, amazing event. Car lovers for generations and coming here never seen anything like this. And us Tennessee boys are loving this event you have here. So thank you for letting us come in and interrupting your day and hopefully give you some neat things to talk about. So before we get started, one thing I would like to say is we come up here at the inflatable that is hopefully surviving the freezing. But it is not. But if you come up here seeing us, there's two great race tents over here, and there's some merchandise that we would love to sell you. The support crews are all volunteers that come in. All these people in these blue shirts that say staff are volunteering their summers to come out and hang out with this little circus that we call the Great Race. The more you buy from them, the less they have to pack back up every afternoon. So they would be loving to sell you a t-shirt, a program, all kinds of stuff. Our sponsors, Coker Tire, Haggerty, Hemmings, all have tents over here. They would love to talk to you. I know Coker Tires, where Jason comes out of, they've got some amazing products they would love to get in the back of your car before you go home.
Oh yes, so Scott Culp was just speaking to you. My name's Jason White. We may have flew past that part. Our name's not important. We're going to bring to you the story of the Great Race, a little bit of information about the cars you see starting their journey here together. We had the privilege of doing the start of the Great Race here in 2013. So, ever how many, a dozen years ago, many years ago, and it was pretty awesome then. Looks like they got a pretty great show going on this year too. We were able to get over here yesterday and kind of check it out, walk around, and not be talking the whole time. So that is our job today, to teach you about Great Race and to congratulate these drivers on starting a lifetime adventure, which is very special about Great Race. It is a bucket list item for many people. You will hear nearly half the field are rookies or second timers. Fulfilling the list for themselves or for maybe a family member. So it's pretty cool deal. The Great Race has been going on since 1983. So Scott, if you would quickly just tell us how the rally works, and then I'm going to get into this list. All right, you know quickly is the hardest part to explain this. So I've tried to practice this for years. So how this works, this is not the Cannonball Run. This is not a car show that travels across country. It turns into all of those things, but that is not the intention. It is truly a rally course. The racers, 30 minutes before they set out in the morning, get a map of directions. They are turn-by-turn directions, step-by-step. The thing that is also there, if you print one out on Google, it's going to tell you how long it will take you in your miles to get there. That is not on these maps. If they follow the speed listed on the map and they go the speeds that they're supposed to for the distance that they're supposed to be, they turn at the right checkpoints, they will get to random checkpoints along the route at the exact second that the race designer designed that they would get there. So, how that works, you may think, well, you know, my wife and I travel across the country all the time. We get there, we beat the GPS by 3 minutes, we are good. That's great, and I do that too, but that you're going to be 3 minutes off on your race route. Not only do you have to follow the directions exactly to get to the random checkpoint that you have no idea where it is, but if you get stuck at a stop sign for 12 seconds and the map said you're supposed to be there for 9, you are now off 4 seconds. That's right, check my math real quick. I do simple math for a reason. So, you're 4 seconds off. Your navigator has to figure out how fast do I have to go to make up that race time of 4 seconds. That's not 4 seconds on a stopwatch. You're supposed to be going the map speed, which means you may be going 40 miles an hour. You're off for 4 seconds for 40 miles an hour. You've got to make that up at 45 miles an hour. So the race is designed about 10 miles an hour under the posted speed limit. That gives each driver navigator a gap to be able to catch that up. It may be timed. You may have to sit at 20 miles an hour for 2.5 minutes. You have to hold a vintage car with vintage technology of the era of the time that car was invented
at that speed. You know, if you've driven these cars 20 miles an hour going up a hill for 2.5 minutes is not easy. It's going to be 2 over, 2 under the entire time fighting that car. The navigator driver has to keep track of that to make sure that when you pop up over that hill and you hit that random checkpoint, that you are there the exact second. At the end of the day, you get your score, and all these cars cheer. If you look at these cars, especially these up here in the front, they've got a lot of round stickers on those. Those are Racer Gold right there. Those are ACE stickers. That means they got to the random checkpoint at the exact second that they didn't know they were supposed to get there, but they nailed it. At the end of 2,300 miles, give or take, we don't know how long the race exactly is because we don't know the route that they're running. Even Jason and I have no clue. We just know where we're eating tonight. We don't know how they're getting there. They have to get there. If they get there right, they get their aces. At the end, Sunday, if they've kept the driver-navigator communicating and working together, sometimes we joke about that, but there's times where people have left halfway through the race and don't talk to each other after that. Hopefully not a husband and wife, it's really messy. But at the end of the race, Sunday, we will have cars with less than 30 seconds of penalty for the entire route. We told you about the Fredettes who were up here who won the championship division yesterday with the rear end out of their car the day before, the night before, until that morning when they ran. They fixed it, got in, and won that day for the Grand Champion division. That happens all week long. It takes all the teams working together to keep these cars running. They have to travel with whatever parts they're going to have for the entire race. They have support crew that follow them on the interstate. They can't interact with the racers during the day. They go a different route. But that whole thing has to work together to get the car, the navigator, and the driver to South Carolina at the end of this race come Sunday at the speeds that they have to be there. So it is a huge undertaking. We have about 100 or so volunteers that help put this together. All of us take our time off from work and vacations to come support this thing. We love it. All of us at one time or another have been involved in it. Jason and the race directors work for Coker Tire. Jenny and I up here, we volunteer our summer to come and hang out with the race. We get it in our blood. So if you see these people with these blue shirts on that say staff, they literally are volunteering to hang out with everybody. They set this stuff up every day. They tear it back down every night. We've got another crew that's already at the night stop, that's already setting up and getting ready for us there. Jason and I get to jump in cars and have our own little road route that we get to the stops every time before the cars get there. But what we're going to do, and I'll let Jason read off the sponsors and give you some more information, but here in just a few minutes, we're going to start running these cars through. We will tell you the driver, navigator, and the car number, a little bit about the car that we can, but we're going to run 125 cars through, give or take, in 30-second increments. So it's going to go hot and fast. Watch your toes if you're standing near the cars when they start running. They'll start creeping up here. By the end, it's a little hot in the back, so some of these cars are going to start sweating more than the drivers and navigators. So watch your toes. They may be spitting some fluids out at you, and the car may be too. So just watch what you're doing. Jason, take it over.
Absolutely. You have to understand this event is such an undertaking. Nearly 600 people, all in between the competitors and the staff and the volunteers. It's absolutely critical that we have sponsorship and local support to get this done. So huge shout out to MSRA for giving us a place to take off here. Put your hands together for it now. This is an awesome event, one of the greatest in the country. I've seen it before, I'm seeing it again today. But let me thank our title sponsor, Hennings, so much. We got a little bit more to tell you about something we're doing in conjunction with Hennings this year. Hennings has been a part of Great Race for 15 years, and we can't thank them enough for their continued support. The Hagerty Drivers Club, another over a decade of sponsorship for Great Race. They believe, both companies, Hennings and Hagerty, believe that driving the cars is what keeps the hobby alive, which is exactly what Great Race is about. So, you're going to see lots of stickers and sponsors and all of that, but just know that these are personal relationships to our businesses and our racers. These sponsors didn't just pony up here just to put a sticker on something. They believe in old cars, the old car hobby, and keeping it alive, and so do we. So big shout out to Hennings, Coker Tire, and Hagerty Drivers Club for standing behind Great Race every single year. So before we get going, speaking of Hennings, this 1972 Corvette up here, if you're into C3 Chrome Bumper Corvettes, that particular one you can own. Starting today is a giveaway for this car. You throw your name in the hat. It's just a small submission. We've come together with Coca Tire Company, Hennings, Corvette Central, and Zip Corvette. We got this car purchased off of Hennings Auction. We got it fixed up nice. Got a brand new set of wide oval radios on it. Riley and Joe are going to hopefully take care of this thing, a rally across the United States of America, going to change their lives. You can win this car. Follow it all week long. Thank you to Hennings for helping us get all our ducks in a row and get this car in the race for Riley and Joe, and then after the race into one of your hands. Thank you so much. So before we get going, I need to get race director Jeff Stubb over here, get him Michael Scott, and my friend Wally. Back to the 50s means so much to us. We cannot thank you enough for putting up with our nonsense here. Come on over here, Jim. I want you to introduce Wally. He's helped us before, outstanding figure in helping to orchestrate this madness that we call Great Race.
I met Wally Birchall about 15 years ago, and he proposed an idea of bringing the Great Race back to the 50s to Minnesota, which is bringing 500 people from around the world to this great event. I know there's thousands and thousands and thousands of cars and tens of thousands of people, but we brought in 500 people that had never been here before in 2012, and it was such a great time and such a success. They've been after us every year to do it again, and it's been 12 years. We finally brought the Great Race back to Minnesota, back to the 50s, and it's really through the hard work back in 2012 and in 2024 and 25 of Wally Birchall. He really has gone the extra mile to make this happen. These people, we've got people from Japan, from Australia, from England, from Italy, France, all over Canada, and all over the United States here. Competing in this event is going to go from here and back to the 50s all the way to Irmo, South Carolina, which is Lake Murray area of South Carolina, right in the middle, right next to the capital at Columbia. And 12 years ago, we had this young lady sing the national anthem. How old was she? Dan, about 13 years old, and she knocked it out of the park. And that young lady is Wally's daughter, and she's here again 12 years later to sing the national anthem. Would you introduce your daughter to sing the national anthem?